First thing is in the Metasploitable Linux DVW application, I want you to try the cross-site script, right? So you log into the DVW application. After you login failed. Admin password is password. First thing what you have to do is ensure that DVW security is set to low. Okay. Click on DVW security, select low, then submit. After that, you can practice any of these labs. We started with cross-site script reflected. Click on that. So looks like no images here. This is reflected. You need to inject as a normal user, you provide some strings and you check whether it is coming or not. This is the normal functionality. If you are the end user and if you don't know ethical hacking. As a security engineer, if you want to find some defects, security defects that are called vulnerabilities, you have to provide some scripts. You know how these elements are constructed. We discussed about different kinds of tags elements, right? So I tried with script alert of script. This is a very important payload. Remember, for cross-site script, first test which you have to perform is the script alert of script. Submit. You should get the alert. Then you can try with image as well. Source pointing to some kind of image, you should be able to load it. This is what I have explained, and you need to try this one again. Okay. I have given the assignment for the other application, that is ultramutual.com. The assignment is you need to find different kinds of vulnerabilities, that is cross-site script in different pages, right? So the functionality is you have the sign-in page. You can sign in with jsmith demo 1234. After you log in, there are different elements. You need to try cross-site script across different pages, different elements. So for ultramutual.com, first thing, DVW, how many of you are done? Just mention like DVW done with cross-site script. Ultramutual, how many cross-site script issues you have found? Reply in the chat window. In case if you are having some issues with the DVW setup, I'll try to resolve it when other people are doing some assignment. We have some more labs. Parallelly, I'll try to resolve the system issues. Okay, don't worry about that. We have a lot of time. Practicals, we go a little slow. Okay, first thing, DVW, most of you are done. Then coming to the ultramutual.com. Where is the cross-site script in ultramutual.com website? I want the object name or the element name or the page. Chandrika says search. Manoj, Harish, Oblesu. Search field. Aparna, transfer funds. You should get the alert. Wali, Balu. Raghavendra, Manoj, Divya Krishna. Three options. Okay, let me try. Most of you are telling search field, right? Search means like in any kind of web page, you have an option to search anything, right? Like it is kind of a help. If you want to search about transfer, you can transfer like this. Search. There are no results. As a normal user, you provide some strings, or at max you can provide some special characters and then search. No results. But if you want to try cross-site script, you have to provide script alert of script. The interview question that is asked is, what is the payload do you use for cross-site script? You need to tell, I'll provide script alert of script, simple JavaScript. Don't think like you are learning entire scripting. This basic script you need to know. Simple Java alert script. Okay. Provide this alert 1, 2, 3. Or if you are providing the string within that alert, you need to put the semicolon and click on go. You got the alert. So the issue here is you need to mention like search field is vulnerable for cross-site script. That is reflected cross-site script. Which is the other page that is vulnerable for cross-site script within alphamutual.com. Transfer funds, some of you have mentioned. Go to the transfer funds. So here you need to provide script alert of script. Provide two account as a different account. If you get a pop-up, it is vulnerable. If you don't get the pop-up, it is not vulnerable. Okay. Transfer funds. Transfer amount must be a number greater than 0. So it is saying like you have provided invalid number. Is this a defect or not? The question is this a vulnerability or not? Can I get the answer in the chat window? What do you think? I have provided the script, but this specific element is not accepting the script. It says you have provided invalid value. Clearly, it is not a defect, right? Our script, if it is getting executed, then we call it like a vulnerability. Okay, this is not vulnerable. One more page. Then any other pages, view account summary, contact us. Here we don't have any field where you can provide the payload. Payload means script alert of script. One more field, feedback. Okay, here we have around your name, email address, subject, question, and comment. Try all these 4 fields and check if any field is vulnerable for cross-site script. 5 minutes for you. Just to differentiate, what you have to do is for first field, alert of name, so that you know like that payload that is getting executed is from this field. The second one is alert of email. If you get an alert when you submit the form, you should be clear like which field is generating, which field is executing the script. Like that, you provide the payload, submit, and check if you are getting a pop-up. If yes, tell me the field or the element where you are getting the alert. Which field is vulnerable? Name field. Okay. Let us try that. Name. You need to try all the pages, all the elements in a page. Subject. Then only you come to know like the vulnerable page. Mention this as comment. If you need the payload, I'm sending it here. Submit the form. Check if you get an alert. I have provided the cross-site script payload across 4 elements. Submit. We got the pop-up for name, which means that out of 4 elements, name field is vulnerable for cross-site script. You are providing the payload and it is getting executed. The payload is not getting stored in the server. If it is getting stored in the server, every time you launch feedback, it should get executed. Okay. The next thing, okay, 2 fields. Remember, in alphamutual.com, there are 2 cross-site script vulnerabilities. If I give you a third application, will you be able to find out the vulnerability? One more application I'll give you. Are you ready? We should find cross-site script in that page. We have to remember script alert of script or some image tag. Very simple, very important vulnerability. Instead of going for a new application, within the same application, one more page I'll show you. You have to find the vulnerability. Okay. Go back to DVW application. This is an assignment for the next 10 minutes. For whoever are done with the reflected cross-site script. If you do a check-in to any kind of hotel, they try to collect the guest details, right? What details do they collect? For example, you went out for a tour and you are trying to check into some hotel. They ask for some details. What details do they ask? Reply in the chat window. Okay. Other card, within the other card, what details will be there? Not for the proof, not the KYC. Some details to register or fill the form. Some name, okay, address, phone number, contact details, so that they keep a track of the persons who are getting into the hotel. There is a similar page. I want you to test for cross-site script in that page. There is within the DVW application, we have cross-site script stored. You need to provide name, and I'm trying to check into some hotel. Here are the guest details. So what details I should put? Message, Hari, Bangalore, and I visited Hyderabad. I'm trying to enter my details and some details, third class, and then here some temple. Okay, and 560088. This is a pin code. Sign guest book. Visiting purpose. So the moment you enter the details, it will get loaded in this page. Where are my details? Didn't get loaded. Okay, let me clear this once. Okay, if you want to clear the entire data, you need to go to the setup, clear or reset database. Reset in the sense it will clear the complete content in the database. Now XSS stored. What is mean by XSS stored? The same thing. Somehow it didn't come here. Let me give one more time. Hurry. Then 13/12 slash Bangalore. Then 5600. Sign guest book. Here are the details. Similarly, one more guest has come. Some name, John. John is from US, Ohio. Then some pin code. Sign guest book. This is the functionality any of the normal user has to perform. these kind of things. Now there are two element, I mean say two elements in this page. Two elements in this page. I want you to find the cross-site script. Can you guys check it? Which one is vulnerable? Try with a simple alert script and then image and then confirming. Okay, your time starts now. 5 minutes. And then other members who have some challenges with the DVWA, reply in the chat window so that I take control of your system and try to resolve it. Who wants to share the screen? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, let me give permissions. We'll go one after another. Other members try to find the vulnerability in the stored cross-site script page. Let me see how many of you will be able to find out more vulnerabilities in these two fields. We'll go one after another. First person. Okay, Suguna has shared the screen. What is the problem here? Hold on. Okay, go ahead. You are trying to launch altromutual.com. Okay, other members see the screen and tell me what is the problem here. It's kind of a puzzle. Let me see. Check the screen and tell me the issue here is she is not able to launch DVWA. What is the root cause for this? So how can we resolve this? Reply in the chat window. Preeti. Okay, one of the answer from Preeti. Any other answers? Anita. Okay. Suguna, we have to turn on the Metasploitable VM. Click on the Metasploitable. The server is down. You cannot launch the website, right? On the left-hand side, top corner. Okay, or select Metasploitable Linux. Come out of, yes. It is off, right? You need to power up. That's it. I think you should be able to launch it. Find out the IP address of Metasploitable and you should be able to launch it. Try it out in case if you are not able to do it. Confirm in the chat window once you are able to launch it. If you are not able to do it, again ping us back. Next person who wants to share the screen. Go ahead and share the screen. No one. Sai, Harika, Manoj or Mozo, Balaraju. Okay. What is the problem here? You are not able to launch Kali Linux. That is the problem, right? Okay. Go to your metasploitable Linux. Let us try to find the IP address of your metasploitable Linux. Alt plus control to come out of the VM. Then click on the metasploitable Linux. Type ifconfig 192.168.32.128. Type one more time ifconfig. Let me confirm the IP address. 192.168.32.128. Okay, go back to Kali Linux. Kali Linux, Firefox. You have to type 128. 128 is the IP address of your metasploitable. Same thing, instead of 129, give 128. Enter. Remove HTTPS. Just type only IP address. Don't give all this HTTPS. Now enter. Fair enough. It is going to work now. Fine. Okay. 1 second. You can continue from here, Balaraju, and ping me back in case if you find some issues. Next person. Who wants to try? Who wants to share the screen? Other members, did you find any vulnerability in the stored process script? Okay, at any time, if you want to share the screen, message me in the chat window. Okay. Harika. Okay, fine. Metasploitable Linux, metasploitable login. Provide username and password MSF admin, MSF admin. Username is MSF admin. Password again type MSF admin. Okay, type ifconfig. You are trying to find the IP address of Linux system. CONFIG. No, ifconfig. IFCONFIG. CONFIG. Enter. The IP address is 192.168.58.129. Now go back to Kali Linux. You need to launch Firefox. Can you try it by yourself? Okay. Kali is the username. Type KALI. Click on that username field. Password as Kali. Last 2 minutes, guys. If you are trying to find any vulnerabilities in XSS stored. Okay. Cross-site script stored. Confirm me if you find any vulnerability. I'll come back to that assignment in 2 minutes. Yes, Harika. Launch Firefox from the menu, dragon icon. Search for Firefox. Now, in the browser, it can be a new tab or same tab. Okay, type 192.168.58 or 59. 192.168.59, I guess. No, 58.129. Enter. Okay, from here you can continue. Admin is you need to click on DVWA. Admin is the username, password is the password. Okay, fair enough. Go ahead from here. Let me see how many of you are responded. Message is vulnerable. Okay. As it is, just like other cases, you have to provide script alert of script. Okay, it is not taking. The name field is restricted to some. Sorry, guys. Name field is restricted to some characters of 10 characters, I guess. So we are not able to provide script in the name. So I give something like name 2. How about message? Yes, message field I'm able to give alert of comment, or cross-site script I'm checking XSS I try, then click on sign guest book. We are getting the pop-up, which means that it is vulnerable. Next, go back to some page, reflected. Again, come back to the stored. We are getting the pop-up one more time. Try to browse some other page, for example, command execution. Come back to the stored cross-site script. Again, we are getting the cross-site script. Click on cross-site script reflected. We don't get any pop-up. Click on cross-site script stored. Again, we are getting the pop-up. Can anyone tell me what is the difference between cross-site script reflected and cross-site script stored? Reply in the chat window. What is the difference between reflected and stored? Remember, reflected cross-site script happens only once. The reason is payload will not be stored in the server. Whereas in stored cross-site script, when you inject the payload to the application, it is stored in the database or in the web server, and it gets executed every time you launch the page where exactly this payload is getting executed. Understood? So out of this, which one is more vulnerable? Reflected is more, more dangerous, or cross-site script stored is more dangerous? Which one is dangerous, stored or reflected? Cross-site script stored is more dangerous. The reason is we are trying to inject the script and then it is getting stored in the server. It executes every time you launch the vulnerable page. Cross-site script reflected, cross-site script stored. We have injected a cross-site script, simple JavaScript. Can you guys try injecting one image and confirm in the chat window once you are done? You know how to construct the image tag. Is there anyone who doesn't know this? Right? Construct the image tag and then try to inject into the message. And there are 4 minutes. Try it out. If you find any challenges, post it in the chat window. Anita tried, Chandrika, it's taking limit. Still try it out in case if it is not working for image, try for iframe as well. Iframe, you know, right? Iframe source is equal to some website you can give, allfrommutual.com, the same thing. image. Okay, let me take one image element. I directly take it from this source which I have constructed. Copy, then go back to the ultramutual.com. Okay. Try to copy paste this. Okay. Image source is equal to something, but looks like it is not taking the full length of the image. What is the problem? It is restricting the length. So how do we overcome this? Anyone? How many of you have seen this issue? I'm talking about how many of you are able to find this issue. There is some restriction, right? Sangeeta, Aparna, Gauri, Madan Mohan, Renuka, Suguna, Satish, Shobalesh, Sharat, Wali, Anita, Chandrika. Fine. So this is called input validation or input sanitization. Basically, you got it right. What is meant by input validation? Whenever any user tries to provide some parameters or the values, the application tries to restrict it through some input validation. This is called client side validation. This is not the server side validation. Client, which is a client here? What is a client here? Anyone? Is it Hari or browser or system? Which is a client? God knows. Browser. Okay. So the input validation can be implemented in the client side or it can be in the server side. Now, let us see if they have implemented in the client side. What I do, I try to overwrite the client code. For that, yes, all of you are correct. Browser is a client. Just right click. How do we see the elements? Already we discussed in the session about HTML. If you want to view the elements, starting tag, ending tag, and its attributes, you just need to right click and inspect element and wait it till it gets loaded. Okay. The element is a message and some of the attributes are maximum length. What is meant by maximum length? That is like the length of the string or the input which you are trying to provide for message. It is given as 50. That is the reason it is accepting only 50 characters. Now I want to overwrite it. I try to overwrite it to something like 200 you put. Check if it is accepting or not. We don't know. Sometimes it may accept or sometimes it may not accept. Click enter. Now close it. The same image tag, I want to enter it now. Right click and paste. Is it taking now? Yes. This is how you need to overcome the client side validation or input sanitization. Click on sign guestbook. This is the earlier one which we injected the Java alert script. Click OK. Check whether the image got loaded or not. So the image is getting loaded. These are some of the things which you have to remember as a security engineer. How do you bypass client side validation? How do we bypass server side validation? All of you try it out now. Tell me one more time. Okay, very simple. You have to give like this image for anything, any of the name of the image. Right click, inspect element, and that specific element, that is message, right? Or if you are not able to locate, again click on this icon, locate this element. It will tell you the properties of name, message. Now I'm more interested in message element. Click on that. So maximum length is 50. I try to overcome it to 200 or 300 and enter. Go there, paste the entire image tag, sign guestbook. That's it. It gets loaded. Twice I did, twice it got loaded. Clear? Any other doubts? All of you try, do this one and confirm me in the chat window. Is it done? Iframe also you should inject. How do you inject the iframe? You can give any name. I'm just for reference purpose. I'm trying to put iframe 2, iframe 3 like that. Every time you try to inject some scripts, you need to override the length. Okay. Image source is equal to ultramutual.com. Need not be only ultramutual.com. Sorry guys, it is iframe, right? Okay. It can be any website, something which gets loaded, means which is vulnerable for clickjacking. If it is not vulnerable for clickjacking, you will not be able to load this web page. Not taking. Directly I copy it from the HTML sample we created in first week. Remember? Okay. You need to override the length. Right click, inspect element, maximum length. Try to change it to 400. Anything 200, 400, 300, whatever it is. Provide the iframe. Click on sign guestbook. Check if it is getting loaded or not. Image 1, the old it is earlier we have injected. Image 2 and ultramutual.com. So the main website is DVWA. Okay, within this DVWA, I'm able to load a simple iframe. The source is ultramutual.com. So can I say like a website within a website, right? Yes. Click on sign guestbook. Then provide the details. That's it. Try this one, very important. And one more question. We tried injecting some iframes, images, scripts. Is this only vulnerability or vulnerability plus exploitation? Can I get the answer? Kali Linux is my attacker system. The target is DVWA. So did I try exploitation or only vulnerability? Exploitation means I should be able to gain session, or I should be able to access something, or I should be able to bring down some server. CIA compromise. Whatever we have done so far is vulnerability. We didn't do the exploitation. Exploitation means the target. Just like a normal user, I logged into this DVWA. I am not able to exploit, means I didn't get any session to the DVWA server, that is Metasploitable Linux. This is the website. Just I launched the website. I'm checking whether it is taking some iframes and images, external scripts. Exploitation will do it. It requires some tools. May I know what tools we use for exploitation? Lot of questions for you guys in this today's session. Okay, all these are interview questions only. What tools we use for exploitation? Anita says Metasploitable. Metasploit. Divya, Raghavendra, Ganesh Kumar. Metasploit. Remember, Metasploit is a tool that is used for exploitation. Metasploitable Linux is an operating system. Metasploit and MSF Venom is for creating the payload. We'll do this exploitation on Friday. Both process script exploitation, then file upload exploitation, and then MS17010 Windows exploitation. The next one, along with the hacking, right, we need to know how do we prevent this vulnerability. Means how do we stop these kind of attacks? So how do we stop it? There are some few remediations which we have to remember. We'll discuss that in tomorrow's session. While coming to the tomorrow's session, play around upload functionality. This I have done it from my end. Do you remember? I tried uploading some HTML, tried uploading some image, then PHP. So the objective is create a simple HTML page with some elements and try to upload it and try to execute it. The next one, try to create a simple PHP file with some scripts, upload that script, and then try to execute it. How about exploitation using Metasploitable and Metasploit and MSF Venom? That we'll see it in tomorrow's session. I have done from my end. I want everyone to practice that specific vulnerability. Understand? So tomorrow's session is all about file upload exploitation. Practice from your end, not from my end. I'll show you once, then you have to do it one more time. Any questions, anyone? Are we good? And are you guys able to follow the sessions? Is it tough, easy, or confirm me? Yes, everything good. If you are able to follow the sessions, if you are not able to follow, what is your concern? Post it in the chat window. Any questions? You need to go through my video one more time in case if you are not able to understand. Go through the video, try to practice in the same way how I answered the questions. In the similar way, you try to answer in the interview questions. I mean to say in the real interview. That is enough. Try to upload the image file. Renuka. Okay, thank you so much. Have a great day. And then go through my videos in case if you have missed any of the sessions. Revision session starts from today or tomorrow. I'll let you know because the staff was busy with some kind of other priority works. Okay, but the timings also will get changed. I'll confirm you by 10 o'clock, not 10. By 11 o'clock, I'll tell you the timings, and also it will start from beginning. You can ask any kind of doubts if you have it in today's session also, but it will start from the day one. Where can we use real-time work process script? That's what. So far we have found vulnerability. I'll show you the exploitation. Once you find the exploitation, then you can use it for any website. Revision class timings, most probably it will be between 6 and 7 in the evening hours. I'll confirm you. Sure. Okay. Yes. I'm going to upload this video as soon as possible right now after the session. Okay, then have a great day. See you tomorrow again. Bye bye. Make sure you practice file uploads and come to the session.